Why did I decide? You know, it was a group of us that chose to create something that was really going to make an impact and bring we the people together. You know, we're all alive right now for such a time as this. God has created all of us for great things, and this is the opportunity that we really get to own our freedom, stand in our freedom. Our freedom and our sovereignty comes from our Creator. And we knew that our borders were being overrun. We knew that our identity as a nation was being stolen. We knew that kids were being trafficked. We knew that there was enough fentanyl to kill every human being in the USA. We knew that vets were being pushed out of their homes so that illegal immigrants could be housed. We knew that our administration was paying the illegal immigrants to make that cross, promising them money and things when they were here, giving them the hope of the great American dream when they are enslaved. There's a deeper purpose in why they're doing what they're doing. I love everybody. Our core assembly committee loves everybody, every ethnicity, whether they're right or left. That's not the issue. The issue is there's a divide. The issue is we're in the breach of an invasion. Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution. We've got to close our borders. We've got amazing people. Tom Homan, Border 911. We've got amazing people, Live Border News, Jonathan Alexander. We have amazing people who are putting their lives out there and risking and ready to take a stand. Tom Homan, come on, Border 911. I think what's important is we the people, being here, it's a little bit of a risk, right? Because some people might not like our message. But when you stand in truth, there's a sense of freedom. We have nothing to be afraid of. So we're going to hold our elected officials accountable to closing that border. Okay, securing our nation, safely deporting those that have come in during this open border period, safely deporting them back to their homes. And the children are on my heart, that those children are protected and safely get to a safe passage of where they're supposed to be. So that's really why we're doing what we're doing. The American people's voice deserves to be heard. We the people, aren't we? The Constitution is for us, isn't it? Step in. Let's take our power back. Let's take our border back. I live here in San Ysidro. I have people that I've connected with and stories I've heard, and I don't think we understand what's at risk. I have 4 children. I have a grandbaby. Crime has increased. There are over 200 terrorists on the watch list that have entered this country since January 1st. Let me share with you the power of one person, okay? I'm going to share a good story. Mariel Watson. Mariel Watson lived in San Ysidro, California. Mariel Watson lived abut the border every single night. She'd have illegal immigrants making the cross. She'd hear gunshots from afar. She'd have things stolen from her yard. She was in fear for her life. She reached out to authorities. No one did anything. Nothing. It was crickets. But do you know what Mariel did one night? She got tired of feeling powerless. She got tired of not feeling listened to. And Mariel Watson took a stand. She took a stand. She went to her car, grabbed those keys, turned on the ignition, went to her backyard, and shined the lights on the border. She shined the light. And do you know that night not one person crossed that border? Not one. Mariel began to tell everybody around her. The next night, 2 people, 5 people a week later, 2,000 people within 7 months. Well, guess what? That certainly woke up the officials. There were even those who go, gosh, we could do something. And they did. Do you know what they did? They actually called the Army, who supports us and keeps us safe, right? So they called the Army, and the Army had some metal mats that were used for helicopter landings very readily available. They sent over hundreds to Mariel Watson's backyard. Do you know that became the first wall, the first border, the first wall in San Ysidro, California? One person can make a difference. Now, let's go to the other side. 200 illegal immigrants crossing the border on the terrorist wrist. If one person can make a difference of light, 200 people bent on destroying the country, we can't do this. We're all focused on elections. And listen, I want great people to be in office. I want great people who are going to stand for values, who are going to protect our nation, protect our babies, right? But if we do not have a nation we will not have an election. This is our opportunity to take a stand together, we the people, every single one of us, to take our border back. You know, this is just the beginning. We know it's the beginning. You know why? Because we've given our power away. Have you ever been in a situation that's domestic violence? I have. I became a single mom of 3, almost died in my 3rd pregnancy. I relived my childhood. I went through some really tough stuff, and my parents did the best they could with what they had. But when you have lived in domestic violence and you've experienced it yourself, you can smell it. There's a sense of it. And when I see what's happening in this country right now, that little knower inside of me, which is in every single one of us, says, warning, warning, Will Rogers, protect, get safe. Our country is at risk right now. We already saw 9/11. We saw what happened. Now, there's another story to that one. We'll talk about that later. Go visit takeyourpowerbackshow.com. Takeyourpowerbackshow.com or KimYeater.com. You'll hear more. But what's really important right now, guys, is that we, the people, come together for such a time as this. We take our border back, and we, the people, take a stand, and we shut down what's happening. And honestly, you know what? What did Abbott just do? He just had the National Guard come in. Other states have joined in. California, send in the National Guard, California. Stop. Every state, wake up. If you don't wake up, it's going to come back to haunt you. Do we get enough media attention here in San Ysidro? No, we haven't been. Texas has gotten a lot of them. So we just had a rally in Texas, take our border back. San Ysidro, we've had this crossing going on for so long, but people don't realize that in 𝗘𝗫𝗓 or however you say that word, that they've been coming over by the busloads, really. They're in schools. They're being kept in schools that are deserted schools, right? No longer schools. They're being brought into the medical facilities. And you want to hear one more thing? Do you know, this is out of the mouth of people in medical facilities, in order for them to be handed their money, they need to get the vaccine. We need to be curious. I need to ask a little bit more questions. So no, we have not had our eyes here as much as we need to. We need to have our eyes here. There are a lot of amazing people that are Mexican, that they're actually, Border Patrol has said to me, we're actually sending them back. We're being told to push the Mexicans back, but let in the Venezuelans, let in these other 160 different countries. America, this is our warning. We either right now take our border back or we're going to lose our country. These are your grandchildren. These are your babies. Get off the couch. Get away from the football. I love football and I like my couch. It's time. Stand up. You have people that have died for your country. They have died for us. Let's stand up. Let's not let that be in vain. God bless you and God bless America. Let's take our border back.